Conjunctions and linkers. We will look at 4 of the most common ways to link sentences, that is, linkers to express 1. Addition, words that mean and. 2. Contrast, words like but. 3. Consequence, words like so. And 4. Reason, words like because. And, but, so, and because are fairly informal words. While these are okay in speaking, for academic writing you may need to choose alternatives to make it more academic, more varied, or more sophisticated. Let's look first at addition and alternatives to the word and. It is important to note that in academic writing we don't usually start a sentence with and. Better alternatives at the beginning of a sentence are in addition, additionally, besides this, furthermore, or as well as this. These words usually go at the beginning of the second sentence, followed by a comma, like this. Now let's look at contrast. The word but is used to introduce a clause that contrasts what has already been mentioned. There was a deadline for the assignment, but the tutor extended it. We can also make this into 2 sentences by using however, like this. There was a deadline for the assignment. However, the tutor extended it. As you can see, however used in this way usually goes at the beginning of a new sentence and is followed by a comma. Or it can come after a semicolon, followed by a comma, like this. Another alternative to but is although. Notice that it comes at the beginning of the sentence, before the first clause, not in the middle of the 2 clauses. Although there was a deadline for the assignment, the tutor extended it. It is probably better to avoid using though in your academic writing, as this is more informal. If we want to put more emphasis on the sentence, we can also use despite or nevertheless. Let's imagine that the tutor has extended the deadline by 2 weeks. This is a long time for an extension, and we want to emphasize this with our linking words. There was a deadline for the assignment. Nevertheless, the tutor extended it by 2 weeks. Despite the deadline for the assignment, the tutor extended it by 2 weeks. Note that when we use despite, we have to use a noun after it and not a clause, or we can say despite the fact that, if we want to use a clause. We can summarize these contrast linkers like this. One final point. Notice that you must not use the word but if we have other contrast words in the same sentence. This is a common mistake. Now let's turn to linkers related to consequence, like so. Again, so is a fairly informal word, and for academic writing, we might choose alternatives. For example, there was inadequate preparation for the cyclone. As a result, the storm caused a great deal of damage. On the screen are some other ways we could say this, using consequently, thus, hence, and therefore. Notice in these examples that the words or phrases related to consequence start a new sentence and are followed by a comma. A final group of linking words provide reasons. The most common of these is the word because, so you might find yourself repeating it a lot in your writing. Alternatives to because are as or since. For example, we continued with the research as we had found interesting preliminary results. Another alternative to because is the phrase because of. This means the same as because, but it is followed by a noun, not a clause. For example, We continued with the research because of the interesting preliminary results. Due to, owing to, on account of, and as a result of are other options that mean the same as because of. This video has looked at 4 common ways of linking. If you'd like to find out more about conjunctions and linkers, click the link to go to Conjunctions and Linkers Part 2.